ABC7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
The life-threatening cold temperatures could set an all-time record in parts of the country, including here in Maine. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Fire destroyed a home in Surrey yesterday. We've got those details. And a new report shows Maine's overdose deaths continue to climb. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, the news of the day is the weather. Let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, TGIF, your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Here we go. Wind chill warnings are in effect until 7 p.m. Saturday. Temperatures will be falling throughout the day and really falling overnight tonight. Wind chill values of 40 to 60 below will be possible in a few spots. And because of the wind, we also have a chance for blowing snow. That's why a blizzard warning is now up until 7 p.m. Saturday. Not so much for falling snow at this point, but blowing snow will reduce visibility in a few spots. Gale warnings up until 4 p.m. Saturday as well along the coast because of those winds. And a freezing spray warning also up as well along the coast because water will splash up on shore. And then, of course, we're going to be watching for a sub to freeze up as that continues. But otherwise, let's keep things rolling here. So we're watching for still tracking from the northwest, going toward the south and east. That's gotten out of here. And the doors to the Arctic have opened up as that cold Arctic blast continues to move in our direction. We'll see sunshine and a few passing clouds today, even some ocean effect snow, too, with how cold it's going to be later on. And, of course, mostly clear tonight with a lot of sunshine on the way for the daytime tomorrow. Winds will be really up there at around 20 to 25 miles per hour sustained. We're going to keep that wind going, especially as we head towards Saturday afternoon. By Saturday night, we'll start to see a little bit of improvement. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, plenty of sunshine with maybe a few clouds later on, but temperatures falling, hitting 14 below by 7 p.m. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. 2 women are facing charges after police caught them with a large amount of fentanyl in Bangor last night. Maine Drug Enforcement Agency Commander Peter Arno says for the past year they've been investigating a Massachusetts-based drug trafficking organization that is responsible for the distribution of a record amount of fentanyl throughout Hancock, Somerset, Piscataquis, and Penobscot counties. A number of undercover purchases were made. Last night, investigators identified a rental vehicle coming from Lawrence, Massachusetts area that had entered Maine to allegedly distribute more fentanyl. About 10 p.m., the car was stopped on Union Street in Bangor. 24-year-old Chrisimli Guzman and 22-year-old Erie Gazili Polanco Caceres of Lawrence, Massachusetts were arrested and charged with aggravated drug trafficking. Arno says a search of the vehicle turned up almost 1.5 pounds of fentanyl that had an estimated street value exceeding $94,000. They also found $5,000 in suspected drug proceeds. Arno says the investigation is ongoing and more arrests are likely. 25 pigs were killed in a fire in Vassalboro this morning. Fire crews were called to a fire on Cross Hill Road in Vassalboro just before 4:30. Upon arrival, they encountered a barn fully involved in flames. Vassalboro Fire Chief Walker Thompson tells us the fire was contained to an 18 by 25 structure. The homeowner was able to save 4 piglets. The chief tells us the fire is believed to be accidental, possibly caused by some heat lamps that had been set up for the animals. A Bangor man is appearing in court today to receive a sentence for a brutal assault. 42-year-old Joshua McCullough was charged with stabbing a woman in September of 2020. The woman was attacked in a home on Westland Street while her 2 children were home. She received serious injuries. McCullough, a former boxer, was charged with attempted murder and other charges. Today he'll be sentenced for a charge of elevated aggravated assault. Firefighters from several communities battled the bitter cold while also battling a stubborn fire in Surrey yesterday. Matthew Jaroncic has the story.
The town of Surrey and nearby communities came together to take down a fire at 440 Morgan Bay Road Thursday morning.
Yeah, at 9:13 this morning, we were dispatched for a fully involved structure fire.
Surrey was joined by Ellsworth, Blue Hill, Orland, and Sedgwick fire departments. At this time, McClellan says the fire is under investigation, but early indications say a chimney fire likely caused this incident. McClellan says there were lots of challenges they had to overcome fighting this blaze.
There's no water system in the town of Surrey, so we have to truck all the water we need here.
But what this small town has is community spirit, that public support. neighbors and members of the local community stepped in to make sure the homeowner and firefighters were taken care of.
He's just a really amazing carpenter. He's a super kind person. He always goes out of his way to help anybody that needs help.
For Valerie Feldkamp, she says seeing this home burn down hit her extra hard.
I grew up right in this area. My childhood home is just down the road. I've been very familiar with the place and the area like my whole life. It's very sad to see it go.
And with the very cold temperatures coming in the next few days, residents are rallying and doing what they can to help the homeowner.
I already told him that he is absolutely welcome to stay at our house as long as he needs. We have a really nice neighborly, friendship, and so of course I've extended anything that we can do to help him.
In Surrey, Matthew Juronsik reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The Giffords ice cream plant in Skowhegan will be shut down for a while after the fire there Thursday. Nobody was hurt. There were 36 people working in the building when the fire started. Investigators say the fire started in a freezer. Firefighters say it caused significant damage to part of the manufacturing plant and offices.
This is indicative of what it takes in rural Maine to mitigate emergencies. It takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of people, and bringing them together.
He says the fire was likely an accident, but it is under investigation. 2 inmates at the Penobscot County Jail in Bangor have been charged for smuggling drugs into the facility. According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, on Thursday, January 19th, correctional officers responded to a medical event within the jail. It resulted in 3 female inmates being transported to a local hospital for treatment. The incident involved a large amount of drugs that had been smuggled into the facility by a female inmate. For several days after the incident, an extensive investigation of the jail yielded the location of a container of drugs that contained over 18 grams of fentanyl. Yesterday, 30-year-old Karen Jordan of Springfield was charged with 2 counts of aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs and 1 count of felony trafficking and prison contraband. 39-year-old Heather Carlo of Portland was charged with 2 counts of felony aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs and 1 count of violating of conditions of release. The number of Maine's drug overdose deaths continues to climb. That's according to a new report released Thursday by the Maine Attorney General's office. The year-end report for 2022 found more than 10,000 overdoses were reported in Maine. There were 716 suspected or confirmed deaths. Nearly 80% of the confirmed drug overdoses in 2022 were attributable to fentanyl, either by itself or in combination with other drugs. Gordon Smith, the state's director of opioid response, says, quote, "This opioid epidemic today is more lethal than ever due to illicit drugs like fentanyl, which is responsible for 8 of every 10 overdose deaths in Maine. We will use every avenue available to support all Maine people, families, and communities affected by the opioid crisis and bring resources for prevention into every community and school in our state." The cold temperatures could set an all-time record in parts of the country. 50 million Americans are now under wind chill alerts. ABC's Andrea Fuuji has the details.
This morning, millions of Americans from Montana to Maine bracing for a blast of Arctic air so frigid, some places could feel like minus 60 degrees.
It is down into the single digits, and the wind is going to be howling.
Boston declaring a cold emergency. Schools are closed and warming centers are open. Wind chills there expected to plunge to 33 below zero tomorrow.
I get my coat on, and my gloves are in my bag, and I have my hat, and I just bundle up as much as possible.
New Hampshire's governor warning residents to take this seriously.
At negative 30 degrees, hypothermia can set in just 10 minutes, and we know it's going to be even colder than that across the entire state.
Meanwhile, in the south, warmer temperatures finally on the way after that deadly multi-day ice storm. Hundreds of thousands of power outages still reported late yesterday.
Slick roads and the terrain and ice. Tree limbs falling out of the trees.
Officials in Austin, Texas now saying they're not sure when power will be fully restored.
Just as quickly as the cold came into the northern tier of the country, it will leave by Sunday, with above normal temperatures expected next week.
Coming up on ABC7 News at noon, there is money available if you're having trouble heating your home. We've got the details when we return.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Coastal Auto Parts, Old Town Redemption Center, O&J Folsom Incorporated, Spalding's Bangor Radiator, and Wisteria Floral and Gifts.
Almost 1/3 of investment fraud victims are over 60. If someone offers you an investment, ask them these questions first. Are you licensed with the Maine Office of Securities? Are the securities registered? What are all of the risks and fees? How and when will I get my money back? Check before you invest. Contact the Maine Office of Securities. If we don't know, we can't help. And get the Smart Investors Checklist at investors.maine.gov.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Several organizations are opening their doors to help keep people warm in the coming days. You can see a list of some of the available warming centers right here on your screen. From Augusta all the way up to Aroostook County, there are dozens of facilities helping to keep people warm across our region, including many that are not listed here. For a complete list of warming centers, head to our website, foxbangor.com. With the wind chill expected to make it feel well below zero, officials are telling Mainers not to wait until their fuel tank is empty to look for heating assistance. Megan Hannon, Executive Director of the Maine Community Action Partnership, says Maine has seen increased federal funding for the Home Energy Assistance Program, or HEAP, thanks to the efforts of Maine's congressional delegation and bipartisan legislation passed at the start of this session in Augusta. Maine Community Action Agency has got an additional $40 million for HEAP and $10 million to help deliver emergency fuel assistance. She says private donors and fuel companies are also stepping up to help. Hannon says call your local community action program or dial 211 to find more information about heating resources. As we watch the temperatures fall, experts say we shouldn't take our health for granted. Paying attention to our surroundings could be the difference between life and death. Dr. Christopher O'Connell from Northern Light Family Medicine in Hamden says that prevention is key. Do everything you can to keep yourself warm. If you have to go out and brave the elements, make sure to dress in layers. Also, keep in mind that having your layers too tight can produce compression that will constrict blood flow. He says covering your hands and face is a must. Frostbite can set in quickly with wind chill readings in the negative 40 or 50 range.
What you're talking about is the extreme temperatures. And when it's mild, our body, we have these ways to compensate. We try to generate heat a lot of ways. One is shivering. Our muscles start contracting. Our heart rate will increase. Our blood pressure increases. We start breathing faster. All these processes get more difficult the colder it is. It's more difficult to maintain your own temperature.
Dr. O'Connell says that parents need to take special care making sure kids and elderly family members are looked after. Walkways can be slick despite your best efforts to salt them. And if you feel any numbness in your body, reheat slowly. You can do more damage by using water that is too hot or using friction that might be too rough while you're feeling numb. Maine Emergency Management wants to remind everyone to be prepared for the unexpected over the next couple of days so you and your family can be safe. They say even if you do have adequate supplies, there could be issues that you aren't aware of or haven't anticipated, so having a plan can't hurt.
Our emphasis is on make a plan. Just because you think you don't need just because you think you won't need a warming center doesn't mean maybe your power is going to go out. So how are you going to get there? How will you get there if your car doesn't start? Where's the one closest to you?
We are seeing many events changing schedules due to the weather on Saturday. Among those is the U.S. National Toboggan Championships being held at the Camden Snow Bowl this weekend. Between the early warm temperatures that kept the pond from freezing enough to be safe and now the Arctic blast, organizers have decided to change this two-day event into just a Sunday event. The call was made for safety reasons for both participants and the volunteers.
We can handle the cold, and our racers that have been doing this long enough, they know what it's about being out here all day, all weekend. But this is a whole different animal.
The championships will now happen starting at 8 a.m. on Sunday with a full day of racing. It is expected that the finals will start around 1 p.m. On another note, the mountain will be closed to night skiing tonight and also closed all day Saturday because of those frigid temperatures. After the break, we'll take a look at how one local school is helping those in need. We'll be right back.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care.
I find that the most rewarding part of my job is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Visit mainjobs.care/Fox to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Maine Denture, Corinth Auto Parts, John R. Crooker Agency, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, Sweet Cheeks Bakery, and Warren's Waterfront Restaurant.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed.
No.
We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
Comfort Shoes and More will make winter easier. Next Grip men's and ladies' boots feature cutting-edge technology to make walkways a breeze. Corkers are made with interchangeable soles to conquer the roughest winter conditions. Navitec with the flip it and clip it spikes make you confident no matter what the conditions are. Bruce McDonald's trained podorthist will make sure the fit is perfect for you. See why thousands of people have trusted Comfort Shoes and More for all of their footwear. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to business.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care.
I find that the most rewarding part of my job is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Visit mainjobs.care/Fox to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
The Pentagon is monitoring a suspected Chinese spy balloon suspected hovering over the northern part of the U.S. Officials tell ABC News President Biden has decided against shooting the balloon down for now, but it is keeping all options open. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more from Washington.
Amid heightened tensions with China, the Pentagon is tracking a suspected Chinese spy balloon flying over the U.S. High above Montana, images show the balloon the U.S. officials say is unmanned, the size of 3 buses with a technology base suspended below it.
Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information.
A senior defense official says the U.S. has been monitoring the balloon for a couple of days and that it contains limited value for collecting intelligence. The Pentagon adding the balloon is flying above commercial airspace and poses no present military or physical threat to people on the ground. But an official says it has flown over sensitive nuclear and missile facilities.
There are intercontinental ballistic missiles, the Minuteman III, that have silos right here in the United States.
U.S. officials tell ABC News President Biden was briefed on the situation and asked for, quote, military options, later agreeing with the recommendation of military leaders and deciding against shooting down the balloon for now because of risks to civilians.
At first, I thought it was a star.
A U.S. official telling ABC News Secretary of State Antony Blinken is now set to delay his planned trip to Beijing next week.
And they want the Americans to see that they do have the capabilities to put sensitive military collection devices like these over the continental United States.
Overnight, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy calling for a meeting of top congressional leaders, calling out China's brazen disregard for U.S. sovereignty. Now, Beijing has not denied that the balloon came from China. In a new statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry says they're looking into the reports, adding they have no intention of violating another country's airspace.
Childhood trauma is a common risk factor for developing depression in adulthood. Researchers found that a history of trauma does not make depression harder to treat. With more, here's ABC's Ika Jachi.
About 50% of people will report experiencing childhood trauma, many of whom will develop depression at some point in their life. Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. It's been a long-standing theory that depression is harder to treat when you have a history of trauma. Research from WVII University in Amsterdam shows that may not be true. Contrary to current ideology, research showed that treatment of depression worked equally well in both people with a trauma history and those without. Common treatment options include therapy, prescription medications, or a combination of both. People with a history of trauma had a higher baseline level of depression. However, they had similar levels of symptom improvement with treatment. Findings were consistent when looking at different childhood trauma type. Regardless of having a history of trauma, depression is a medical condition that can be adequately treated. If you or someone you know is struggling with depressive symptoms, seek care as soon as possible from a healthcare provider. A primary care doctor is a great place to start. With this Medical Minute, I'm Ika Jachi.
A dog was rescued after falling about 50 feet into a well on Wednesday. The pup, Indy, was running with its owner when it fell into an uncovered water well. The rescue took the Chula Vista, California Fire Department about 3 hours, but they eventually were able to recover the 9-year-old German Shepherd. Indy is said to have mostly injured his hind legs and was taken to a nearby animal hospital for a thorough examination. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor is the best and only spot you should go to for your rug cleanings. Serving Maine for more than 70 years, we care about your rugs. Clean rugs last longer, and our family takes pride in being the professionals that you can trust. Our cleaning process consists of soaking your rug in a bath, shampooing, rinsing, and drying in a humidity-controlled dry room, making sure no detail is overlooked. Need a repair? We fully service every type of rug for you. Saliba's Rug Cleaners.
We care about your rugs.
Did you know that an alpaca item is the most wish-listed gift idea? Stop searching for that perfect gift and start shopping for it at the Blue Alpaca in Belfast. It doesn't matter who's on your gift list, the Blue Alpaca has something for everyone with an incredible selection of alpaca socks, hats, sweaters, even stuffed animals, and more. Shop in-store or online and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. Too much to choose from? Don't worry, the Blue Alpaca also offers gift cards. The Blue Alpaca, feel the difference.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemmainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainhealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
In the midst of dropping temperatures, many are finding ways to help those in need. All Saints Catholic School in Bangor is supplying socks. Thursday, middle school students clipped the socks to the York Street Sock Garden next to the Congregation Beth Israel, where anyone who needs socks is free to come and take them.
For people who don't have the money to buy socks, and so it's helping them in the cold. So if they have cold or wet feet, it's very helpful. I really like giving back to the community, so I do lots of drives like this at home and in school.
According to All Saints Principal Matthew Houghton, the Sock Garden is a collaborative effort involving several communities, and the school plans to continue participating in the future. Good for them. Now let's check the frigid forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
All right, let's get things rolling out here. Wind chill warnings are up until about the 7 p.m. time frame on Saturday because of 40 to 60 below wind chills possible starting tonight and lasting through a good part of tomorrow. We're watching blizzard warnings too, reduced visibility with blowing snow expected. We had snow that fell this morning, and we're pretty much done with that part, but the snow will be blowing around. With the wind, we also have gale warnings up until 4 p.m. for your Saturday along the coast because of all that. And a freezing spray warning up as well because water will splash up on shore and freeze things up. And that'll last until about 4 p.m. for your Saturday as well. So lots of advisories to break down. The colder temperatures are now moving in, so we're going to get very cold later on tonight, possibly getting close to 30 below in Clayton Lake and well into the 20 to 25 below range for the rest of our viewing area. And then a little bit of a warm-up finally on the way, but we have to wait until about Sunday for it to really take hold with temperatures that will feel much better as we head towards your Sunday. As for the feels-like temperature, this is going to be a big ouch as well. We'll be watching for feels-like temperatures that could hit possibly at 60 below in the Clayton Lake area. Other spots at around 50, maybe 55 below. So dangerous air is going to be moving in. So if you do have to be outside, make sure to bundle up. But if you're able to stay inside, definitely take advantage of that and avoid this colder air. But of course, improvement gradually on the way. We'll have to wait until Sunday for that warmer air to really take hold and temperatures and feels like temperatures finally getting back above zero. We're average high is 29 degrees. We'll reach for the lower teens today, although we've already hit that. We're going to be falling from here on out. 2 degrees for the high temperature for you Saturday. 30s and 40s on the way starting Sunday through Thursday, so finally an improvement. We just had to wait until Sunday for the temperatures to rise. We did have snow that moved through last night and early this morning that has since moved through, so some snow on the ground in the northern ends of the state, but with the blowing snow, that's why we do have blizzard warnings in effect in the northern ends of the state. But with the cold front now moving through, the doors to the Arctic have since opened up, not much right behind it, so that blast of cold Arctic air does continue to move in, and it will be dangerous at times too, so we need to be careful with that. Futurecast moving forward, though, a lot of sunshine and a few passing clouds today. Ocean effect snow over the ocean will be mostly clear later on tonight, though, with a lot of sunshine on the way for the daytime tomorrow, but it will be rather chilly out there with temperatures struggling to get above zero. Forecast for today, 13 degrees, partly cloudy and falling temperatures. We've already hit our high temperature, the northwest wind at about 35 miles per hour. Later on tonight, 24 below, mostly clear, dangerously cold. West wind at about 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 2 degrees only, mostly clear, still dangerously cold. That west wind at about 40 miles per hour. All righty, here's a look at your extended forecast. Things start to improve as we head towards Sunday. Snow showers, highs in the lower 30s. That will feel better. Upper 30s for you Monday with a partly cloudy sky. More clouds moving Tuesday. Highs in the upper 30s to lower 40s.
Thank you, Devin. 45 days until spring, and in August, we'll all complain that it's too hot. We'll just hang on to that tonight and tomorrow. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Stay warm this weekend.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Coastal Auto Parts, Cold Brook Mitsubishi, Family Pet Connection, Gray Wolf Auto